It is so good to be here with you this morning. It really is. And I tell you, I could get used to this place. I have a center in Manhattan, and I had the privilege of being at Nick and Joseph's home last night, and all I can say is, wow, it was amazing. Absolutely. So thank you so much for your hospitality and your graciousness. I so appreciate it. And I see Karen Meyer in the house, and Karen comes to my center in New York City as well. I'm here with my friend Joseph, and I'm just very grateful to be with you. What I do every Sunday at my services, and I'd like to try it out here, wish each other a happy Sunday. Okay, so just turn to your neighbor and wish each other a happy Sunday. We just do that, it's great. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. It's a great way. Okay. It kind of gets the energy going, although I have a feeling that you folks don't need to get the energy going. Am I right about that? I really think that you already have your energy going. This morning, I know that your theme is, Nick told me the theme this month is joy. So I want to speak to you this morning about the joy of prayer. The joy of prayer. How many people in here do prayers or pray, or any of you familiar with that? I come from the science of mind teaching. My teacher was Dr. Stuart Grayson, a long lineage of amazing, amazing people. He was one of the greatest teachers, and I love him dearly. And I want to speak to you this morning about prayer, the power of prayer, and how it works in our lives. Okay, I have this little book, and it's for sale back there, and I want to go over with you the steps of prayer. It's very, very important, I believe, and this is the one thing in science of mind that really is different from other teachings. Our methodology of prayer is very different. And I understand some of you are becoming chaplains, yes? You're getting trained to be chaplains. I think that's absolutely wonderful. And I already said if I can be of help, you can call on me if there's anything you need from me. So this morning's lesson then is about the power of prayer. I started doing prayer work so many, many years ago, and it has changed my life. Because it's very inspirational. Because what it does is the first thing that you're doing is recognizing that power and that presence for good in the universe. You're realizing that you are connected to a power and a presence and the God of your understanding. The beauty of the teaching and the beauty of New Thought, I think, is that we do not tell you about God. We allow you to discover God. Isn't that true? Isn't that true for all of you? And it's such a beautiful thing because we tell you to discover the God that you believe in, whatever that is for you. It could be called divine mind, it could be called universal intelligence, but there is a power for good in the universe. Ernest Holmes says, and each and every one of us are and can use it if we are willing to do so. And so in the first step of prayer, we recognize God. And I love this step because what we are doing is recognizing that God is good. God is good. I'll tell you a little story. I had two men come to my center a couple of weeks ago, and they said to me, you know, Reverend Loretta, I have never heard a talk like this before. They came from a background of I think it was Pentecostal or something, which I'm not familiar with. And they said, you're telling me that God loves me? I was taught that God wanted to punish me and God didn't like me and so on, and you're telling me that God loves me? And then they said, the next thing you're going to be telling me is that there isn't any devil. And I said, no, that was last week's lesson. So I want you to know that we have a freedom, we have a feeling of goodness about this teaching. We are in this teaching so that we can be blessed, so that we can become more of who and what we are. That's why we're in this teaching. That's why we have these communities. One of my favorite teachers is Reverend Michael Beckwith. Everybody heard of him? Yes, he has Agape. I love that man. And he speaks also about this. There is no guilt, there is only joy. We want to have joy in our lives. Joy is the spiritual foundation of our teaching. We come together to recognize each other and to realize that each and every one of us has a divine identity. We are one with a power, and I say that over and over and over again. And it is only when you begin to use that power and use it with wisdom that you begin to be blessed, that you begin to know who and what you are. The first step in spiritual mind treatment, which is our form of prayer, is recognition, recognizing God, finding synonyms for God. And when you do that, you know that God is love, and God is beauty, and God is abundance and joy, and all of the qualities of God belong to you. And that's the second step. The second step says that you are a part of that divine one, that you are spiritually identified with God, the God of your understanding, that whatever God is, you are and I am. We are one with this power. Let's say this together. I am one with this power. I am one with this power. And it is a power for good, and we know that, and it is always blessing us and bringing us more good. So our first step is recognizing God, and our second step is unifying with God. This is the one life, and that life is whole, perfect, complete, and then we say that life is my life now. And when you begin to identify with this power and presence, there is something within you that resonates throughout your life and changes everything. Everything begins to unfold in a different way. You begin to create more joy, more peace of mind. The quality of your life begins to improve. Many years ago, I wrote a mission statement. When Stephen Covey wrote that book, The 7 Habits, how does that go? I always forget how to... Thank you. Yeah, I always forget that for some reason, but that's okay. It's all good. And so whatever that book was, it really resonated with me, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So I wrote a mission statement. And a mission statement is very important because when you have a mission statement, you are saying something good that you want to do for other people. My mission statement says, to improve the quality of my own life while improving the quality of all those lives around me. You see? Because that's what my mission is. As I speak to you this morning, I want to touch you. This is my intention. And I want you to be inspired to know who you are. And as Reverend Michael Beckwith says, to know whose you are. Because you are a part of a divine identity. You are identified with Spirit, and Spirit is whole, perfect, and complete. That's our second step. We unify with the power and the presence for good. We are one with it. We are unified with it. All that God is, I am. Let's say that together. All that God is, I am. And whatever it is that you think about God, you are blessed by God. And then we have our third step, which is realization and declaration. We must be able to specify. There was a great teacher in our movement many years ago who began the church in New York City, Raymond Charles Barker. How many people in here have heard of Raymond Charles Barker? Quite a few of you. He was an amazing teacher, very direct, very blunt, but a great teacher. He wrote The Power of Decision. And he speaks about when you want something and you're praying for it, you must know what it is that you want to demonstrate. You see? You must be able to declare it into the law. That's your third step in prayer. You must know right here and right now what it is that you would like to demonstrate in your life. So the first step says that we recognize God. The second step is that we are part of God. We have that spiritual identification always within us. We know Spirit and we know how to use it. We are using it by declaring our good, by saying what it is that we would like to demonstrate in our lives. What is it that you would like to demonstrate? You have to know that. If you don't know what you want, how can you get it? You see? And some people want more abundance, some people want better health, some people want more relationships, you see? I have people that come to me and they want me to pray for relationships, you know, and they say to me, I'd like to demonstrate a wonderful relationship with a loving, caring partner, man, woman, whatever it is. And then they say, after that, I don't know if I'm going to meet anybody. I never meet anybody. It's just not my style. I just don't know. You know, You have to really empower yourself, and you have to know who and what you are. You have to know that Spirit is always with you, Spirit is always giving to you, and Spirit wants you to have what you say you want to have. But you have to keep saying it. You can't say, I can't do this, because then you're telling the universe something else about yourself. If you want to demonstrate a relationship, you have to get behind that idea. And you have to stay with that idea and speak about it and know that you are worthy of it and you deserve it. You deserve to have good in your life. Do you know that?
Yes.
Yes. I'm glad. Yes. This is a very great group of people. I can just tell. I feel right at home here. I feel like I'm back in New York City, but a little more relaxed, I have to say. In fact, a lot more relaxed. I'll tell you a little story about how prayer helps me. You know, I wasn't going to bring this up, but I will. Last Sunday, I came out of my center, which is on 63rd Street by Central Park West. I went into my garage to get my car. I had a meeting. I had a few things. I had a lot going on. Going to the place to get my car. And I said, gee, I'm waiting here for 20 minutes. What's going on here, you know? I said, Jesus, where's my car? I know the man. He's a wonderful man. He always helps me. And he says, let me check, Loretta. He goes upstairs, he comes downstairs, and he says, there's been an accident. Your car, another car. I was so upset. Anyway, the other people, and I'm a minister, and the other people in the car are 2 lawyers. So I said to them, you know what? We got this covered. We definitely got it covered. So it's a lot of damage on the car, but this is how prayer helps you. Prayer helps you to walk through things and to keep on going. Keep on going. My teacher, Dr. Stuart Grayson, used to talk about appearances. And he would say that when something happens in your life that is challenging you, it becomes an appearance. And we keep walking through it. We walk through the appearance. We keep going through it, you see? So when you declare what it is that you would like to have, when you have the power of prayer within you, you know what you're doing and you can keep on going. I kept on going despite what happened to me last Sunday. I keep on going no matter what happens in my life. And I'm sure all of you keep on going as well. And that's the power of prayer. When you really pray and when you really know that I'm just keeping the idea in mind that my car will be fixed and everything will work out for my highest good. And there will be a blessing in the lesson. That's what I've added on. Whenever something happens to you, look at it as there's a blessing in this for me, and there will be. Begin to understand and accept that. When there's a lesson showing you something, remember there is a blessing in it as well, and something good will happen for you and through you. You just have to know that. Absolutely know that. So I've got the 2 lawyers and the minister. It's like a Woody Allen movie, right? We're all handling it. Everything is working out. And I know that it will work out. I absolutely do. So in step number 4, we are denying the denials. Now, this is something that gets people sometimes because they say to me, Loretta, what are you talking about, denying the denials? So when something appears in your life that is acting as if it's real, if it's a condition, if it's something that's challenging you, you don't give it power. You try to move away from it. You move away from it with prayer, knowing that God will resolve it, that God will find the solution, Spirit will find the solution for you, that it is dissolved, neutralized. As an example, when you think about something with your health and your well-being, if you go through a challenge and you have something, I always tell people when I see people in the supermarket and they have lots and lots of tissue boxes. You ever see people like that? They're buying lots of tissues and they're planning on having a cold or on continually keeping their cold. That's what I tell people. If you buy a lot of boxes of tissues, if you want to get rid of the cold, you don't need that many tissues, right? You just need 1 box. So you actually have to remember that. You have to remember you don't want to keep something. You don't want to hold on to it. You want to be able to let it go. That's denying the denials. That's letting go of the negativities in your life and walking through them and keeping a good attitude. That is so important. And then we have the 5th step, which is thanksgiving and release. And when you pray, you release the word into the law, and you know that the law does the work, and you let go. When you let go and let God, And when we all say together, and so it is, we know that we are blessed. We know that God is blessing us. We know that we are uplifted when we let go of the prayer and we allow God to do the work for us and through us. Remember, Spirit can only do for you what it can do through you. You see? That's why the person that, I'm thinking of a story of a man who wanted to get a job. So he called Dr. Grayson up and he said, I want to get a job, Dr. Grayson. Will you treat for me? Dr. Grayson did the treatment. The man called him back about 2 weeks later and he said, this isn't working. And Dr. Grayson said, why not? He said, I've been sitting by the telephone and nothing's happening. You see, he didn't go out. He didn't apply for the job. We have to put legs on the treatment. We have to take the necessary actions in our lives. Whatever it is that we would like to demonstrate, we have to pray about it. It's like the word treat and move your feet. You have to pray and then you have to move your feet, and you have to remember there is divine guidance that is available for you. Open yourself to it. Be aware of the presence and power that is within you. It is always for you, always blessing you, always inspiring you. It is magnificent. This is a power that Ernest Holmes has spoken about. How many people in here have heard of Ernest Holmes? Yes, absolutely. Both hands went up for Joseph. Yes, absolutely. We love Ernest Holmes because Ernest Holmes said so many years ago, there is a power for good in the universe and you can use it. What are you doing with this power? Are you using it? Are you directing it for good in your life? This is the way that it works for us. It doesn't work unless we work it. We have to be able to use the power. We have to be able to use the presence for good in the universe. It is our birthright to be happy, as was said this morning. Beautiful prayer, by the way. I love that prayer that you did this morning. It was beautiful, Nick. It really was. And I really want to say that I think that the power of prayer brings us joy each and every day. How many people in here do prayer work every day of their lives? Few of you, most of you, yes. It's so powerful. It really is. If you're having a challenge, instead of being taken away by the challenge, try prayer work. Do your prayer work. Know that there's a power for good and you're able to use it because it works for you and it works through you. And it is your own idea of God. I'm not here to tell you about God. I do not do that. We don't proselytize in our teaching, which is a good thing. We take care of people. We care about people. We love people because we recognize that in each and every one of us there is that inspiration, that power, and that joy. And we would like to have more joy in our lives. And the way that we get joy is by recognizing that God presence within us, by knowing who and what we are, that we are a part of the divine, and that the divine is always inspiring us and giving us more joy, more peace, and more power in our lives. We know that and we accept that. I am going to close this lesson this morning. This has been kind of like a little brief lesson, but I would like to close it this morning with a spiritual mind treatment. And before I do that, I want to kind of go over once again the steps. In this prayer, I'm going to recognize God. I'm going to unify with God for each and every one of us. I'm going to declare good for each and every one of us. And I'm going to deny the denials so that whatever you have brought in here today, I always say at my center, I want you to leave here feeling better than when you came in. That's what I tell people every Sunday. I want each and every one of you to leave here this morning feeling better than when you came in. And some of you are saying, well, Loretta, that's not possible. I feel so incredible, you know? I feel wonderful. I feel really, really good. I want you to feel even better. I want you to, I asked the musician here if he would play I Believe I Can Fly. I want you to know R. Kelly's song, that you believe that you can fly, but I don't want you to try it, you know, because that's a little... But I want you to know in your heart and in your mind, each and every one of you, that you are loving beings and that you deserve the very, very highest and the very, very best of life. Each and every one of you. You deserve the very best. You have to know that for yourself. Let go of the idea that you don't deserve. Let go of the idea that you're not worthy. That's part of the human condition. There's divine mind and there's the human mind. The human mind is always telling us what's wrong with us. Yes? Yes. The divine mind is always saying what's right with us. Go to it. Go to the divine mind. Go to the one and know that it is a power. It will always be there for you, to support you, to bless you, to uplift you, and to inspire you. You are worth living your best life. That's all I can say to you. Many years ago, I spent 4 weeks with a wonderful lady by the name of Louise Hay. And when I tell you, that woman is amazing, absolute, and she received her training the same place that I did. And she has the greatest New Thought book publication in the world, not in the country, but in the world, Hay House. She has done very, very well. And she blesses everyone. She brings love to everyone. And she talks about words and how words uplift and inspire us. Use your words to bless people. Use your words to bless yourself. Don't be afraid to bless yourself and to love yourself. I tell people all the time, it takes a lot of courage to step out and know who you are. In my classes, when I teach, I tell people, most of the time we are taught not to do that. But I am telling you that you are blessed, that you are magnificent, and you have to know that about yourself. Know that you are inspired from that special place within you. And each and every one of you are so very special. I see all the faces in this room, and I see nothing but love and joy and peace and laughter. And that's what I want for each and every one of you. I want you to go out into your lives and lift yourselves up and know that you are blessed and that you are going to live a more joyous, more wonderful life. And that's the end of the lesson. And let me say a prayer for each and every one of you. And so it is. And now we'll start. Thank you. So let's close our eyes, because this is part of my lesson today, and let's go within, and we're going to do a prayer together. So close your eyes if you want to. If you don't want to, that's okay too, whatever you want to do, right? We're free beings. And let's know this truth together. There is one life, one power, and one presence in the universe. That life, that power, that presence is God. It is the Great One. It is the divine intelligence. It is the creator of all humanity. It is the essence of the divine spirit within. And each and every person in this room right here and right now is more connected to the spirit of life than ever before. Each one is filled with joy, filled with peace, filled with the laughter of the divine. Each one, through this word, is experiencing a more magnificent, more joyous life than ever before. Each one is fulfilled from within through connection to the divine, moving out into life in a new, more joyous way, creating more joy, more peace, more laughter, and more fun in their lives, more happiness. This is the truth for everyone here. Any thought patterns that would say no to this, any negation, any inner resistance, rejection, or rebellion is hereby uprooted, neutralized, and dissolved. And each and every one in this room, including the speaker, is living the abundant, joyous life, filled with love, filled with peace, filled with the harmony of the divine. Each one is moved forward, onward, and upward in consciousness into a greater realization of the truth of who and what they are. And for this and so much more, I am so grateful. I say thank you, Spirit, and I release this treatment into the law, knowing that it works for each and every one of us. So be it, and together we say, and so it is. And that is the way it is. Thank you.